When you start to live from an intuitive mindset, success stops being a finish line. It instead becomes a relationship with your truth. Welcome to Intuition Unlocked, the podcast empowering empathic women who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their intuition, begin to trust their sensitivities, find inner clarity, and show up with embodied, unstoppable confidence in their daily lives. I am your host, Olivia Ashley, an empath and intuitive, and I am so happy you're here. Hello, and welcome to Intuition Unlocked. I'm so grateful you're here with me today because today I want to have a conversation that's been really present on my heart lately. It's something I've been navigating in my own life and finding both helpful and powerful. I've been reflecting a lot about my own choices, goals, and daily life and how it feels for me, what feels good and what doesn't. And I've really noticed how much my intuition has become the compass I return to again and again to help me along my path. And the more I reflect on this, the more I realize that intuition is not just a personal tool. It's really becoming the new standard for success, for my success, and what I see many others formulating as their own success. And this is such a shift from how most of us were taught to measure success. Yet I believe it has the potential to completely reshape how we walk through our lives, our work, our relationships, and our personal evolution. So I want to start with a simple question. What if success wasn't about running faster in a race you may or may not have chosen, but instead about walking a path at a pace that feels good, a path that only you can create, and your intuition is both the compass and the map? When I think about success in the old paradigm, it's often defined by hustle, external achievements, or checking the right boxes in career, in income, appearance, and approval. And while those things can bring accomplishment, many women I speak to still feel empty, disconnected, confused, or like they're living someone else's version of success. This reality can leave you feeling consistently behind, confused why you don't feel the way you thought you should, or you're struggling to keep up with the next trend. Those feelings of discontentment, exhaustion, or misalignment are actually your body and soul's way of saying, this isn't working for me. That definition of success you've been given and the steps you've been told you must take to get there aren't the ones you're meant to be striving for. Because there is another way. And that way begins with intuition. Intuition allows you to create the roadmap for your success, one rooted in your values, your interests, your needs, and the legacy you want to build. Because let's be honest, a lot of women are exhausted by mindset hacks that don't stick, by models that don't provide the results they promised, and by the glorification of practices and achievements that are shared as a model of success and yet leave little room for nuance, creativity, or individualization. So while I love journaling and affirmations and the work we do to try to feel good day to day, when we are forcing positivity, but if we're not actually touching the root of what's going on, of the deeper truth of why this isn't feeling in alignment, and bring awareness to that and take action, then those affirmations or those practices can feel hollow. It can leave you more confused because you are doing things that you feel should move the needle in your life, and yet your external realm is still the same. And so there's a level of disconnect there that needs to be addressed of still do the practices that help and help you feel like you can get through your days, yet start to bring awareness into the bigger picture. And this is an important step because for many of us, we have not felt safe enough. We have not had the space or the resources to really examine and say, wow, what do I want? What does success look like? We have grown up in a society that affirms independence and competitiveness, but also a need to compare. And so we're looking at what others are doing, and you might doubt your own path or not even understand what your path could or should be for you. And that can bring in feelings of overwhelm, exhaustion, stress, and lack of worth. So that pressure to be more productive, to always be striving, to be going for the next thing, especially when those things do not feel like your authentic truth, can create an inner dissonance. And deep down, you can sense that the old way of measuring success might not actually serve you. Your path and your version of success and what you want to be productive towards or striving towards might be really different than what you are imagining for yourself right now. And that's okay. That's where we see an invitation in this, to examine what if success is no longer about what you produce, but about who you become and how aligned you feel along the way. That's where you put the weight. That's where you focus of, is this thing I'm creating or moving towards or being a part of in my life actually fueling me, filling me, stoking my fire and sparking my light? Or is it draining, exhausting, stressing me out? There is a ton of value in strategy and individuality, in moving towards your goals and reaching for those next things. Absolutely. Yet, there has been a very specific roadmap laid out for most of us that we feel we must adhere to. And in reality, most of our souls are screaming for change, for a new way of being, of showing up, and for receiving success in those different ways. So that's where you can start to use your intuition to help you redefine success. Because I want you to hear clearly that I am not here to define success for you. That gets to be yours and yours alone. Yet I can help you expand your perspective, offer new possibilities, and help you connect with your intuition, because your intuition is the compass that gets to help you discover it and build a new roadmap or blueprint for yourself and your life. Your intuition is what can help you clarify what truly matters to you, what is in alignment with you, what feels good and right for you. Maybe that's freedom of time. Maybe it's a deeper connection to your partner or your family. Maybe it's building a legacy that reflects your values. Or maybe it's simply being more present and peaceful in your daily life. That would feel like success. And the best part of this is that success can evolve. So what feels successful to you right now might shift as your life shifts, but you need to decide that from where you are now. It doesn't really help to shift forward or be future thinking and attempt to create a model of success for yourself for someone you're looking to become. There's value in understanding that and bringing some aspects back, but it's more important to say, what does success look like now? What needs to be addressed now? And then knowing that that's still your future, that's still where you're headed, that you can adjust your path of success as you get closer to who you're trying to become. And your intuition will always be your truth teller and your trust muscle. It will guide you toward the next right step. So it's about listening and connecting in the present moment. It's not about having that whole roadmap in front of you or becoming who you want to be in this moment. It's about listening for your inner compass and trusting that it's going to show you where you need to go next, that next first step, and help you get there. And I see this conversation as being so timely because intuition is going to be at the forefront of the new paradigm we are co-creating together. There is a deep remembrance and awakening happening within us in effort to innovate a way that puts our needs, the earth's needs, each other's needs into better balance. And to support this, I see we are collectively moving into a time where the feminine aspects of life are rising to balance the masculine. For so long, success has been measured through masculine traits, such as logic, drive, achievement, order, and external validation. These are not bad by any means. They're actually quite powerful, but on their own, they create imbalance because there are the feminine qualities that are also wanting to be seen and expressed, such as flow, receptivity, collaboration, empathy, embodiment, intuition. These are coming online more strongly. And when we can combine the two sides of the strength of the masculine and the feminine, we create a whole, more balanced version of success and our reality in this life. That's where I see intuition playing a central role because it is balanced between these two sides. It filters out the noise so you can hear your unique truth. It helps you see options beyond logic or other people's advice, or take those into account and integrate them and find your option. It can anchor you into trust when everything feels uncertain and give you that foundation to continue moving forward. And it's going to guide you toward aligned choices that don't just look good to you, but they feel deeply right. That's what intuition does. It's going to help you align with your opportunities, relationships, and choices that match your truth. And when you define what success means for you, those two things can come together and help you understand what right next choice to make. And with that, how can you actually work with intuition to create a roadmap of success? Here are a few practices you can try. You certainly do not have to do all of them. I just want to give you a few different ones to see what might resonate with you. The first is vision anchoring. You can ask your intuition, what does a successful life feel like for me? Notice the sensations, images, or words that arise, and then write it out or draw it. Get creative and express. Just brain dump everything that comes forward in response to that question. You could put it in a Google Doc and let it all flow, and then reflect on the core aspects that are coming forward. Because success isn't about what it looks like, it's about how it feels. So really notice what comes forward, that feeling sense, that knowing sense, what you see and imagine for yourself. Another practice is priority mapping. You can write down your values and needs right now, and then hold each one and ask, does this actually feel expansive and true? Or does it feel more heavy and forced, like I'm just doing this to do it? Let your intuition begin to highlight what really matters for you today. Which values and needs are actually truthful? Which ones do you want to maintain and continue? And which ones are you just doing to uphold your old version of success? The next one is what I call decision alignment check. Before you make a choice or a decision, you can pause and ask, what option feels most aligned with the life I want to create? Pay attention to your body's wisdom, to your intuition. When you look at the choice, does it feel light and open or heavy and constricted? You know on a gut level what is right for you. So when you're faced with decisions, stop, pause, check in, take the time to really think about it, to feel into it and understand what is best for you at this time. The last one I'll offer is an intuitive roadmap ritual. While you're working in this space and really thinking about redefining your success and creating a roadmap for yourself, it can be helpful to carve out time once a week to sit with your journal or pull up a Word doc on your laptop and ask, what is my next right step toward the life I want? And what do I need to release this week to stay aligned? Then create a simple action list of 2 to 3 steps for each one. Let your intuition guide you forward. Just open up. Explore. First, let just everything flow forward and then come back and look at what you've written. Don't overthink it, but continue to check in and say, what is my next right step? What do I need to release to stay aligned? And that will help you have space to drop in and reconnect with yourself and affirm that you are listening, things are feeling good, or you're seeing movement on what you're putting into action. So these practices really help intuition move from an abstract concept into a living tool that you can use to navigate your decisions, your growth, and your evolving definition of success. And that's where I see this all comes together. When you start to live from an intuitive mindset, success stops being a finish line. It instead becomes a relationship with your truth, one that evolves as you do. And integration is about weaving intuition into the fabric of everyday life. So check in before you commit to things. Let your intuition guide not only your big decisions, but your small ones too. And start to balance the feminine qualities of flow and receptivity with the masculine strengths of action and structure. And most importantly, give yourself permission to redefine success again and again, because your intuition will always be there, guiding you toward the version of success that feels right in the season of life. Be gentle on yourself, have curiosity, be playful, and remember that life should not be taken so seriously. That the things we're facing right now, while they can feel very hard and challenging and like they're going to be permanent, I promise you, this too shall pass. That this feeling, this phase of life, whether it's a high or a low or somewhere in between, is going to change. And so, how do you take care of you through all the seasons of your life? And that's where I see intuition as being the most important piece of your life to become connected to. That's what's going to help you navigate it. That's what's going to help you find your footing, your anchor, your connection to yourself, so you can trust yourself. You can trust in this moment and make decisions to the best of your ability. So as you move into your week, I want to leave you with this reflection. What does success feel like for you right now? Not what it looks like to others, but what does it feel like in your body, your heart, and your soul? And what's one small step your intuition is nudging you to take toward that vision? Trust that answer, write it down, and act on it. And let your intuition lead you into a success mindset that is uniquely yours. Thank you so much for being here today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear what came up. Please share your reflections with me or pass this episode to someone who's ready to redefine success on their own terms. And until next time, keep trusting your inner compass and lean into your intuition. Thank you for joining me on Intuition Unlocked. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of insight, guidance, or intuitive inspiration. To dive deeper into our community and get access to exclusive content, head to my website at www.olivia-ashley.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also connect with me on Instagram at wildlyolivia for daily inspiration and updates. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, I'm Olivia Ashley, and I can't wait to connect with you again.